This is one of our more problematic areas that deal with people that are long-term camping.
In the Lake Mountains with a beautiful west side view of Utah Lake.
There are some really nice trailers out here, and there are some people that are here that are just passing through town and passing through on a vacation. And you look at those, and sometimes that can kind of shield or put a blanket over the underlying issues that are going on.
BLM Ranger Matt Gochis has been patrolling the West Desert for more than 5 years.
Kind of in those last 5 years, though, it's been a significant increase in the amount of people that are living out here that are long-term camping. That has gone up substantially and very noticeably.
According to BLM Utah, roughly $2,200 per month are spent monitoring camps for compliance.
Hello, police!
They're also unable to patrol full field office boundaries due to the increased need for monitoring these specific campsites, some of which turn into homesteads.
It's probably around 35% of my time is spent just doing compliance checks for these long-term campers.
The Bureau of Land Management allows dispersed camping on most of its public lands. You can camp on BLM land for up to 14 days within a 28-day period.
After those 14 days, you need to move on and move 30 miles from that location.
Gochis says some of the long-term camps pose significant wildfire risk due to electrical issues and unsafe campfires, which we witnessed firsthand.
We get a lot of wildfires that occur from long-term campers due to electrical issues from being out in the environments for a long time, unsafe campfires, also just the litter that goes on in this area. A lot of people will use the black water from their trailers and just dump that black water, which is not sanitary, it's not safe.
How much of these are actually turning into what you describe as homesteads versus people simply out here camping?
This is a specific area where we do have about half that are staying out here long term, and that is just due to the relevancy to the city. It's an easy access, it's an easy place to get to. What's your guys' living situation looking like?
Gochis spends time talking to a variety of campers, like this man who declined to speak with us, but told Ranger Gochis he's been living this lifestyle for 10 years.
About that week time, we'll start talking to people, just, hey, just so you know, you're coming up on your week, answer questions, offer any resources or things like that.
Are most of these people, do a lot of them have a similar story where maybe they fell in some hard times and they decided to do this, or it's by choice because they live that nomadic lifestyle? Where is that sort of balance, I guess, between the folks that you make contact with?
I would say most of them have a very similar story. It's very similar of either rent is too high right now, so they just want to live out here cost-free, or they had some kind of a traumatic event maybe that happened a long time ago and they just have kind of given up that lifestyle of being in a city or a neighborhood and they just want to be out on their own. Or the third one is, they want to be sort of off the grid for a reason and they don't want to be in contact with law enforcement or things like that. So
there's a stewardship that comes with the luxury of being able to stay out here.
Teresa, who has family in Utah County.
We were here in May. There's still people here that were here in May.
She lives life on the road with her husband and dog.
And this could be a nice campground, but people don't treat it very well, and that's sad.
Gochis also tried to make contact with others in campsites that indicated significant time spent, but no one was around. Have you seen the same folks on and off for 5+ years doing the same thing?
Yeah, there's a handful of them that they know me, I know them. I've been dealing with them for that 5 years.
In this camp area, there have been serious issues in the past.
13 Bravo 21 on service.
Such as people living on the land with criminal warrants or possessing stolen vehicles and drug use.
There is a big theft issue that goes on in some of these camps where that is one of their main sources of income because they are unable to get a job. They will unfortunately resort to theft to help some of that income.
The big goal for Ranger Gochis is to offer resources for those who want to accept the help. So it sounds like a lot of these people know you're coming in the first place and they just choose not to make that choice until you have to make the choice for them. Is that right?
I would say that's correct. I think a lot of them will see us driving around. I talk to a lot of them, and they kind of make that choice that they want to stay. Again, I'll offer them resources, shelters, and or resources to help their situations, and often those are declined.
After learning from the Utah County Sheriff's Office about a camper who had been in the area for months, Ranger Gochis made contact with Angelo and his 2 dogs.
I can work with you on how long you're staying out here. right? So it's 14 days. After that 14 days, you're in violation. And after that, you can be impounded, towed, and cited. You do need to get 30 miles from this location and then stay away for 2 weeks.
Angelo spoke with us after Ranger Gochis offered him lists of resources in both Utah and Salt Lake counties.
I had problems in Salt Lake with my motorhome, being homeless and chased around by people. I found this spot to come out here, and it was, a lot more comfortable and easier to be away from all the people that were upset about campers and camping in Salt Lake County. It's a little bit harder to survive out here past the city. I've been homeless for about 5 years, and not really homeless, but I've had my motorhome bouncing around, so it's okay, but it's still kind of homeless, propertyless. It's just due to having multiple problems, and I don't like being homeless, but being out here, it got comfortable, so I like it.
He's been staying in the Lake Mountain area since March.
I have to fight to stay alive and survive. Out here, I'm surviving with what I got, and if they take that away from me, I don't know what to do.
Gochis gave Angelo roughly a week to decide his next move, whether it was to find another camp 30 miles away or take advantage of the resource information he provided.
I'm just trying to get my life back on track, yeah. I've had a lot of problems, and if I have to move again, I don't know. What do I do,
After a week or so, Angelo decided to head back to Salt Lake City.
We want to try to help these people as much as we can. But in my career, I found that rarely ever happens, of people actually taking up that offer of the resources. They much rather just stay in their trailer and kind of live on the public lands.
Brian Schnee, KUTV2 News.